all agree it was wonderful to see our gracious Majesty the Queen enjoying herself looking resplendent in her finery at the recent Windsor Horse Show. Of course, there to watch Lady Louise perform so well amongst all the other celebrities, including Dame Helen Mirren and of course Tom Cruise, the Hollywood superstar. But it does look, according to a very good source, that another former royal could be returning in some form to celebrate the very auspicious Platinum Jubilee celebrations. And as ever, who? Hi, good morning, Neil Sean here in the very heart of London. Nice to have your company today. And as ever, thank you for tuning in, truly mean that. Can't believe, as I often say here now on the show, 133,000 subscribers. Really, we just set it up because I wanted to give you the true side of the story of what I do as a reporter and the other side. And, the things that the mainstream media don't want to cover, don't think it's prevalent enough, not really interested, particularly the woke stories. Oh, they don't want to cover those, No, way too controversial. I believe in getting it out there, as they said on the Carry On films. Sharing it with you, and of course letting the world know how stupid some of these ideas are. It's ridiculous, isn't it, when you think. This all really stems also back to a recent appearance of a one-time favourite royal at the memorial of the late Duke of Edinburgh at Westminster Abbey. Of course, we're talking about the Duke of York, Prince Andrew. What's interesting, of course, Prince Andrew himself, some might say, has had something of an easier ride when you think of the backlash against Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, or has he? Now, there's lots of stories come out over that period. As I told you, lots of them are ridiculous, pompous, and quite frankly made up just to get headlines, because Prince Andrew at the time, and still now, has far too many things to worry about when whether somebody says to rearrange his teddies or call back upstairs just to close a curtain, a job that of course you're paid to do as a member of the British monarchy if you're in their service. Ridiculous when you think. But now a very close source told me this. It appears that Prince Andrew could be given some kind of minor role within the Platinum Jubilee celebrations. We're not quite sure if it's privately or at a function inside Buckingham Palace or at Windsor Castle, but he will be included. Now, what's interesting to note about this particular story is, of course, it will create quite a lot of division, as one can imagine. Whatever your thoughts are about this particular story, it's interesting to note and remember that this is a celebration about a monarch who's been on the throne for 70 years, and it's not just about being the reigning monarch, it's also a family celebration. And as we saw with his inclusion at that memorial for his late father, he was attending as a son at the request of our gracious monarch. We also have to remember, of course, that she's a mother also to 4 children, and that obviously impacts on her life. And more importantly, at 96 years old, she knows that these particular elements will go down in history. And how cruel as a mother would it be to not include one of her sons on such an historical event? As I say, we're not quite sure exactly what area Prince Andrew could be or would be involved in, but what I'm hearing within royal circles is that he will not be left out completely. And this really is all to be about kindness, his mental health, and the problems that he's gone through since that whole debacle of what he got himself involved with. He himself would openly admit he's made some incredible gaffes, particularly the Newsnight interview with Emily Maitlis. But moving forward, obviously, the Queen is looking at him as a son. And what I would say to you is, should we not at least, open our hearts to our gracious Majesty the Queen and let her see exactly what she wants to do on such a very special occasion, public or indeed private. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.